going to continue the saga of the black beans and rice with breakfast this morning. I'm going to make a breakfast bowl. And then I might tell you another war story. I'm wearing my Korea hat, the one that I wore when I was in Korea, and the shirt that a friend gave me that's a veteran shirt, and gave it to me for my 90th birthday, and it was nice of him, and I really appreciate it. So let's have breakfast first. Well, a breakfast bowl is so absolutely easy and simple and quick that it doesn't seem like you cooked anything. You spray the inside of the bowl you're going to use with Pam to keep it from sticking, and you break an egg into it. Now you want to break this egg up, because if you don't, when it gets in the microwave, it's going to explode and go all over your microwave. So now it goes in the microwave for 30 seconds. Now you see the egg is cooked, and all you do is just break it up at this point into bite-sized pieces. Like that. And here's my leftover black beans and rice, and chopped ham and green onions and all that. Put that in there, mix it around. If there's any uncooked egg, let it coat them. And it goes back in the oven for another 30 seconds. There it is after the next 30 seconds. A little salt and pepper on it. And I've got 3 tater tots over here that I put in the oven to crisp up. I'm going to throw those on there. And a package of Sonic hot sauce, not very hot. And some of that in there. Now I'm going to take it to the table and have my breakfast. Well, here we are at the table, and my breakfast is ready. And in case any of you are wondering about my wife, no, I'm not neglecting her. I made her breakfast before I did mine, so I could devote my full attention to this video, which doesn't take much, but sometimes I forget things if I'm involved in another project. So I'm going to have my breakfast bowl this morning. You know, the red beans and rice, it just goes with everything. Now for my tater tot, I had a few of them left over. I heated them up in the in the oven. Nice little addition to it. Well, I finished my breakfast, and that was a good breakfast, and so easy to make. Have my coffee here out of my favorite cup that one of my viewers sent me. which I really appreciated. Now I want to show you this shirt up close so you can see what it really looks like. It's got my Master Sergeant stripes over here, and this is the campaign bars or ribbons for Korea, which is 3 of them. 2 for Korea and 1 for United Nations, and name here and whatnot like that. And as I said, it's a present I got from a good friend for my 90th birthday, and I really appreciated it. And now for my story. Our unit was the only battalion strength SCARWAF unit in Korea. We had about between 1,000 and 1,100 personnel. All the rest of them were what they call detachments. There was probably another 15 or 20 SCARWAF units there that ranged anywhere from 100 men up to a couple hundred. And they were mostly involved in maintenance of existing airfields. We had the equipment and training to build an airfield from scratch. But also being the only major unit with battalion strength, every time they shipped somebody over there as a replacement, they went through us. And we started getting a whole bunch of brand new second lieutenants coming out of ROTC, and they would come in there and stay maybe a week or 2 weeks, something like that, and then be shipped on out to wherever an officer of that grade was needed. And my desk was in a Quonset building about 60 foot long, and just inside the door there, and then the drafting tables and draftsmen were all in there, and the surveying people kept their equipment there, and in the very back was the dark room where Cotton processed his films. But I was there one morning and at my desk and busy, and this second lieutenant walked through the door, and I was busy at the time, so I didn't say anything, and all of a sudden they yelled, "Sergeant, get your ass out of that seat and down on the deck and give me 20. Which I know it harked back to when he was going through his 2-week boot camp, and some drill sergeant used that. So I gave him 20 push-ups, didn't say a word, and he made a general ass of himself around there, and I let it go. But about a week later, we had a 1-star general come in and want a staff conference there with people from our unit and others, and he met in, we had the meeting room, used the old ready room for the Marine Corps when it was there, and he was up there talking, and I looked over, I was seated next to this lieutenant, and I looked over and he had his head down and he was asleep. Well, the general came to a pause, and I nudged the lieutenant with my elbow, and I said, "Lieutenant, the general asked you a question, the answer is trucks and buses." And he bolted upright and he says, "General, yes sir, trucks and buses." The general stopped and looked at him. He says, "Lieutenant, what is your name?" He says, "Sir, I'm Lieutenant Weeks." And the general looked down at his aide sitting there taking notes, and he nodded. He wrote his name down. But at that time, though, you could hear snickering started. I was staring right straight ahead. I didn't look at any direction of anything, and snickering had started, and that lieutenant sat down there, and you could tell he was so embarrassed that he didn't know what to do. And when we broke up, he looked at me and he says, "You son of a bitch." I said, "Lieutenant, the first thing you need to do is learn that a master sergeant either is your best friend or your worst enemy." He was shipped out somewhere else. I don't know whatever happened to him, but that I got my revenge on him. So God bless America, God bless Texas. You folks have a great day and enjoy life. It's the best life you'll ever have.